Hello and welcome to day 6 of our Lent 102 series. The topic for today is the Sabbath to be kept holy.
Morning star, morning star, we welcome you. He's the root and our offspring of David, the father and the son of the morning star.
Okay, so what is the Sabbath? The Sabbath is defined as a day of religious observance and abstinence from work. So within the Christian faith, typically the majority of Christians observe this on a Sunday. And when we talk about something being holy, it's something that is dedicated or consecrated to God, so something that is deemed as sacred. Okay, so where do we see the first kind of instance or any talk about the Sabbath in the Bible? So that's in Genesis chapter 2, verses 1 to 3. And it reads, "Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in he had rested from all his work which God created and made." So just to give you a bit of background, in Genesis chapter 1 we see the story of creation. So we see over the course of 6 days how God took the earth, which was black and void, and created like the night and the day, the sky, the seas, the fish, etc., etc. And then on the seventh day, we're told that he rested and declared everything he made to be good. Another instance of when the Bible talks about the Sabbath being holy is in Exodus chapter 20. I'm specifically going to look at verses 8 to 11, where it outlines this. So it says, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labour and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day, wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it." So obviously the Old Testament was quite a long time ago. And sometimes the question comes up, is the Sabbath still relevant, or is there still a purpose for it? Well, what I find quite interesting in Mark chapter 2, verse 27, when Jesus was talking to some people, he said, "And he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath." So what I love about that and find quite interesting is the Sabbath was actually made for our benefit. So I think when we look at recent events, everything that's happened with the pandemic, what it's really shown is that for a lot of us, we don't have as much of a work-life balance as we would like. So we spend a lot of time working, a lot of time commuting, and we don't really have very many periods where we get to rest and relax. And basically this passage just highlights that God has ordained a specific day where we don't have to work, we don't have to stress. It's almost our time for recharge, relaxation, and kind of to reset ahead of the new week. Another thing that I think is quite interesting and that is overlooked is that the Sabbath is actually a covenant. So in Exodus chapter 31, verses 16 to 17, it says, "Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations for a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed." So again, keeping the Sabbath, a covenant is like a promise. So it's an agreement between God and ourselves that we will have that day for rest. So when we keep the Sabbath, we are in essence keeping our part of the covenant that was made with God. And in Isaiah 58, chapters 13 to 14, it actually tells us that we are blessed when we do this. So it says, "If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord, honourable, and shall honour him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words, then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it." So I think sometimes nowadays sometimes people see having to go to church or on Sunday or having a Sabbath day like as a burden. We can think of so many things we'd rather do, whether it be, going to sports, another day to chill with friends. But again, the scripture highlights that when we actually follow this and try to set it apart as a separate day, to keep it holy, to try and honour God, we're actually blessed as a result of that. So again, a lot of this, when we talk about the Sabbath, practical tips would be, fellowship, church, trying to relax. One thing that I found personally that is quite helpful for me as well is if I prep all my food on Saturday, when I get home on a Sunday, it's just one less thing to kind of worry and stress about. Also, I understand in some instances, not working on the Sabbath isn't always viable. So in some professions, like if you're a doctor or a firefighter, the reality of your job is you can't turn around and tell your patients, I can't see you today because it's the Sabbath, or if a house is burning down, you're not going to leave the house to burn, because of the Sabbath. So in Luke chapter 6, verses 1 to 11, which is a bit long, so you can read at home, it does tell us that it's lawful to do good on the Sabbath. So, like I said, in some circumstances, it's not always possible, but where we can, we should try and strive to do so. So I just hope that what you take from today is the reminder that Sabbath is actually made for us. I know sometimes it seems burdensome or annoying, but like I said, it was made for us to rest, and there is a benefit, especially as Christians, when we can worship and fellowship together. And I just pray that you're able to apply this to your life and reap the blessings from this. Thank you for tuning in to day 6 of our Lent 102 series. Be sure to follow us on all our social media platforms at Morning Star London. Like, share, subscribe to this video. We'll be uploading daily content. Thank you and God bless.